gang, Jeff Stone here with day 85 of the year 2015 at magicreview.com. Today is a good day because we're getting rid of another packing slip from Murphy's. Now this is only 2 items on the packing slip because it's page 2 of a really long packing slip that I'm not close to finishing. But I get to get rid of another stack another piece of paper from that big old stack. We're doing What the Fork by Michael Dardant. Dardant. I can't quite get the French pronunciation there. But it's not Dardant like I thought it was. Sorry about that. Anyway, that is how you would say it here in English-speaking country called America. Anywho, so what you're getting here is he has won several awards. 16-time award winner. First place at IBM Close-Up, Lou Gallo MVP, and all these different little awards here on the front. And this act that you're going to watch is the act that he won this competition with. There's a lot of big names that are giving him, praise and stuff on here. And again, that you never know how accurate that is, if it's hype, if they're friends or whatever. But based on what I saw, I could see why people said the things they said. So the act starts off. I'm not going to give you all the details, and you'll understand why in a minute. But the act starts off where he walks out, and he has a little teeny briefcase that is about yay big, like this. You've probably seen a little business card briefcases, and he sets that on the table, and then I just happen to have a mason jar sitting here. He sets a jar about like this on the table, and it's got some stuff in it. There's a bunch of somethings in it, made for just a gag for the show. That also is part of the routine. But that's it. That's the only 2 things on the table. He has nothing else on him. He's just wearing a suit and a derby hat, and that's it. Or not a derby, but I don't know. Is it a fedora or a derby? I don't know. Some hat of some sort. A cranium covering device. Anywho, so that's it. He puts those 2 things on the table. And that's point A, the starting point of the show. By the end of the show, there is just stuff everywhere. And there's forks all over the table. I'm not a drinker, so is Jack Daniels, is that whiskey or what is that? But there's 2 bottles of that laying around. These are all things he's produced throughout the show. Sponge balls, big ones, big suckers. There's 3 steel ball bearings, think Paul Gertner style. There's one about yay big, and one about yay big, and one about the size of a bowling ball. Again, just where did it all come from? It's just all over the table at the end of the routine. There's I don't even know. There's just all this stuff, and you're just thinking, where the heck did this skinny dude load all this crap? How was he carrying it all? And the answer is, you just don't want to know. I mean, it's just way too crazy. Not in a bad way. It's just the thought that went into this, and the preparation, and the time that this guy must have spent is incredible to put this thing together like this. So, I mean, it reminds me of the stories of, the legendary Max Malini. He'll be sitting in a coffee shop with you for an hour and a half, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he'll produce a big fat block of ice from underneath of his hat. Where the heck did he get it from? He's been sitting at the table the whole time, and hopefully you don't notice the wet stain on his suit coat when he walks away. I don't know what. But it's that kind of thing where you're like, where did all this stuff come from? Anyway, this is not a strolling thing. This is a set show. It's his competition act. And now, by the way, because he was competing and performing for magicians, this show is very geared toward magicians. There's a lot of lines and effects and things that are in it that are geared that only magicians would get. A layperson would be like, what? They wouldn't know. But that's fine, because that's who he's performing for. So what you're going to get is the performance of the show, and then a walkthrough of everything about the show. Now, the only thing weird about this is the ad copy says that it's an hour and a half long, but it was only an hour. I don't know if that's a typo or what, but it was plenty. They covered everything, so it's fine. I'm guessing it's a typo or they remembered wrong or something. I don't think it was deceptive. So here's what you get during the. Let me just tell you a few of the tricks you're going to get. That you get, and again, you'll see this isn't really about the tricks, but just so you get a sense of what some of the stuff you might see. There's a really cool ring manipulation act that he does. That's his opener, and you already at the very beginning. That's when you start seeing these productions. That's where he produces one of the ball bearings. He's got the little Mary Poppins suitcase because the dude just pulls everything you can imagine out of that. A little bottle of liquor. He pulls out 2 jumbo sponge balls. He pulls out a purse frame. He pulls out. I don't even know what else was in that thing, but just a ton of stuff. And so there's that kind of stuff. There's the big productions at the end. There's a fork bending routine. It's actually more comical than anything. And there's a lot of really funny gags and jokes and stuff going through that tie the whole routine together. So now in the explanations, he does explain how he does all the tricks. He shows you how he loads himself up. He shows you, he discusses the methods. I wouldn't say he teaches the methods, but it's not the kind of thing where there's a lot of teaching needed. I mean, it's the kind of thing where he just basically says it and you're like, oh, okay, that's it. I mean, this stuff is easy to do. There's nothing that's really, other than the ring manipulation, there's really no hardcore sleight of hand or anything like that. It's just a matter of the choreography of when to get the load and how to do it for the finale of this production or whatever. And not all of it's about, hey, look, I produced this big jumbo thing out of nowhere. But those types of things are incorporated into the routines. So what you get is him walking through basically what the effects are, but more importantly, why each effect was included in this set and how the effect came to be. And this joke that he heard one time that got him to decide that led him down the path that created this trick or that trick. And so you see this whole flow of this show coming together, and you see all the psychology behind it and the reasoning behind it and the thought process. And again, like I said, the choreography, the scripting. And you'll see as you watch this thing, I cannot think of one time where he used one of those, I call them mindless rambling phrases, those things like, tell you what, or do me a favor, or what we're going to do is, and what we're going to do is this, and then we're going to do that. And he doesn't do any of that I remember. There might have been 1 or 2 in there, but they were so under the radar because they weren't all over the place. There weren't tons of them. There was just, I don't remember any. So the reason I bring that up is because that means he really thought about scripting. I don't know if he wrote out a verbatim script. I have no idea. But I do know this. He thought about scripting, and he spent time on scripting, and he put effort into scripting, and he cared about what he was saying during each effect, and he cared about flowing from beginning to middle to end. And he did things like, there might be a particular way that you need to stand or something when you're about to grab a load or something like that, or steal a load. And so he choreographed moments throughout the routine that are not where he's getting the steal, but he's standing in that same position so that later when he does it to make the steal, it seems natural. There's things like that. I mean, the guy really put a lot of thought into it. He's very smart, very, very clever. So bottom line is, if you're looking to put together an act, this is worth its weight in gold. I mean, this is a great DVD for that. Whether the act is your own, a show for real live lay people or for magicians for competition, either one, this is a great resource for learning how to put together an act. Now, his whole point wasn't, hey, here's my FISM or whatever winning award. I don't think he's won FISM yet, but everything else. Here's my award-winning act. Now you too can be an award-winning magician by performing my act. No, that's not all what he's pitching. What he's pitching is, here's my award-winning act. Would you like to know the secret of creating your own award-winning act? That's more the pitch of what you're getting. And I think he did that. I think he did a great job of conveying that and teaching that by example and by some direct, here, do this, do that. But mostly it was, here's what I did, here's why I did it, here's how it worked. And that will teach you by example what you can do to make your own act. So even if you're a hobbyist and you don't really perform, for formal situations, and you're not really looking to put together an act, I would still recommend that you take a look at this. It's only $30, and considering what you're getting from who you're getting it from, if that makes any sense. I don't know this guy. I've never met him. I never even heard of him. But I imagine I'll hear more of him now that I've seen this video. So again, as a hobbyist, I think you'll find ideas, gags, tricks that you might even want to do, some of the tricks. I think you'll find a lot of stuff on here that has potential that you might want to do. And it may actually inspire you to want to put together an act and take things to the next level. And again, I'm not saying that you should, if you're a hobbyist, that you should go to another level. I'm just saying sometimes that happens. That happened to me. What happened to me was when I read Wise Guy by Harry Anderson. That book just changed my whole attitude about wanting to perform magic. So anyway, this is, I wouldn't say this is on that par, but it's very good. It's very, very, very good. Anyway, final verdict, 4.5 stars, stone status of gem. Time to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it out to all of your social places, and listen to the random iTunes song of the moment. Oh yeah, I love this song. This is Torn, but it's by Cassadee Pope. I can't remember who the original singer is, but this one is from The Voice, one of the performances on The Voice, which I love The Voice. That is like my favorite reality TV show. But that might be, no, I was going to say that's the only reality TV show I watch, but that's not true. I watch Hell's Kitchen, man. I love Hell's Kitchen. And I do watch the Shark Tank. I don't know if that's considered reality TV. Anyway, so there you have it. Torn by Cassadee Pope. I'll put a link to that in the description below. And one other thing, I may be telling the wrong crowd this since you're already watching the video, but I'm finding more and more and more that people don't realize that every single page, at least for the past year and a half or so, every review I've written on the website, the video for that written review is right there above the written text. And I'm finding people left and right lately that they're like, oh, I didn't know there was a video on the review site. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's right, there's a big icon. So apparently that icon doesn't look like it's the review or something. I don't know. So I'm just telling everybody, because I have people that go over to Magic Reviewed, and they read the written review, then they come over here to YouTube, and that's where they watch the video. I'm like, dude, it's all on the Magic Reviewed site. So if you're watching this on YouTube, just know that anytime you want, you can see the video at magicreviewed.com. Anyway, sorry for that. Just thought it was weird. That's all. I need to figure out a better way to display it so that it's clear that that's the review there. So tune in tomorrow. Day 86 is the beginning of what I'm dubbing Big Blind Media Project Week, because we're starting tomorrow with the Forces Project, followed by the False Shuffles and Cuts Project, followed by the Controls Project. So this will be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's what we got to end the week, are the Big Blind Media Controls projects. And tomorrow, bam, I'll be checking off another list when I do the Forces Project. So tune in for that exciting moment. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you mañana. Peace out.